Thank you for taking your time to answer to my questions about our project, what an MBA is useful for. And you, of all people, should know better because you are kind of messy of this program, something like that. Yeah?
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the compliment. I don't consider myself a Messi. Now my problem is I'm trying to think of another football player that I would compare myself to. But if I'm put in a category like that, I certainly appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
So tell us something about you. What are you doing? What is your background? Besides, guys, this is an important thing about the professor here. He throws away chairs during this class. Okay.
I'm originally from Canada. I was educated in Canada and started working in our MBA program almost 20 years ago now. I had a different color of hair back then when we started the program. My area of expertise, if you will, is in the area of human resource management, change management, people management. And one of the things that I found in our region as a whole, and it's sort of backed up by our research as well, the managers in our region are excellent technical managers. Very, very strong. In fact, given the people that I've worked with both here and in North America, as good as, if not better, from a technical managerial point of view. But what's lacking more is, if you will, the soft side of management, the soft skills of management. And that's one area that I like to really focus in on. And I think if I look at our history in terms of the alumni and so on that have come through our program, it's the one thing that's really, really made a big difference. And it's really brought a different perspective to management in the region.
You know, one of the things, if not the thing, I remained after your class was every solution comes with the next problem. So I'm turning this back to you and I say, okay, I will graduate hopefully in this MBA.
Yes, absolutely.
But what's the next problem with this solution?
No, it's a great question. As I say, one of the things, it's been a sort of a statement that I've used for a number of years now. Every solution creates another problem, and you just have to hope that your solution isn't worse than the problem you solved. So after finishing the MBA program or an MBA program, the next problem is, what do I do now? What's the next level? Where do I take it next? Because learning and education is a lifelong process, and an MBA degree is a huge commitment. It's a really big commitment. If you think about working full-time life, and then throwing a postgraduate degree on top of it, it's a challenging adventure. And the next problem is, the day that we finish that process, what do we do next? What's that next step? And we've had a number of students who have gone on and done PhDs, DBAs, started creating their own businesses, saying, you know what, I'm now ready to move from my corporate environment into something else. Which is great, which is fantastic. It's got this great knock-on effect. But for me, if you will, the next problem that I hope our MBA graduates take is, how can I transfer the knowledge that I have to the next generation? How can I, if you will, pay it forward? I'm not a huge fan of the term pay it forward, but how can I make our country better? How can I make our systems better? Because not everybody has that opportunity for world-class MBA education. And I think there's an onus on those people who graduate from an MBA program to take that knowledge and use it for good, as opposed to what the traditional perspective is, to do it for ourselves. No, we do it for others.
I have a friend in the cohort 31 who sent me a message, and because he's doing his first assignment.
Okay.
His first MBA assignment. Oh, it goes back. And he says like this: please lie to me, it's not that hard. And then I replied to him and I said, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And he said, are you lying? Of course I am, my friend. It's hard.
Look, anybody that feels that an executive MBA program is easy is kidding themselves. Okay. Our program is bringing in people with strong work experience, 8-10 years of work experience. with busy lives. And then you put this educational part on top. So it's already challenging. And then we add to that the fact that we have 2 world-class universities. The degree gives you degrees from 2 world-class universities. It is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and it would decrease the value of the degree itself. You know, it's an adventure, and it's an adventure that you have to go in with your eyes wide open in order to tack it with the right goal in mind. And the right goal in mind, in my opinion, is to make myself a better individual in terms of the premises of management going forward into this AI-driven environment that we are today.
One of the things I've been talking to professors because I'm very interested in what an MBA is.
So I'm not the only person you're talking to? Oh,
but
this interview's over.
You're the first one today.
Okay, fair enough.
Everybody is first in something. Yeah. So the professor always told me that this is very challenging for them, us as an MBA cohorts, coming to them as compared to the regular students. So what do they mean challenging? Why are we a challenge for you?
Sure. So for me, it is a challenge teaching to MBA students, absolutely. But it is also a huge gift from an educational point of view. Why is
are you sure? Are you not specialized in
for most people? For most people. But you know, here's the thing. It's a challenge because we have to be on top of our game. We're working with people who have literally just walked across the street from their offices to come and be in the classroom with me. So if I am talking crap, you're going to call me out. So I have to make sure that I'm cutting edge, that I'm pushing the boundaries of knowledge. And for me, the most important part is when somebody walks away and they say, you know what, I learned something more today. Or I finally understand why things work in one way and not another way. And you know, it is a big challenge, but at the same time, it's also a great opportunity for me to learn about what practice is and that balance between theory and practice. The other part that's a great challenge for me, and I think for our staff as well, is the fact that we teach in so many different countries. When we have 8 different countries that we're teaching in an online environment. When I work in Bucharest, using the experience of Romanian managers and then balancing that with some information that I just happened to pick up in Serbia recently, or taking the great things that are happening in Romania and going to Bulgaria or Georgia and being able to present those creates the environment of new knowledge development, which challenges me even further to rethink the things that I'm doing. So challenge is a great thing. And quite honestly, if we don't have challenges in our lives, it's pretty boring.
One of the things I like in this MBA, there are things I don't like.
Of course.
Let's say assignments.
Yes. Yeah. Every solution comes with another problem. Yeah.
It's the fact that you professors are so open. I mean, sometimes you are too open. It's like, I don't think you're right, professor. And you say, please tell me why. And we were like, do you really want to know? Yeah, I really want to know because I want to improve myself. Absolutely. And we were like, coming from Romania, it's like, wow.
Yeah. Listen, here's the thing. If we had all the answers, there's nothing to teach. Because you should have already had the answers as well. You know, from an educational perspective, there's no better, there's no more noble profession. There are a number of noble professions, doctors, the things that they do for society. From an educational perspective, to be able to challenge our own thinking, okay? And let's be honest, to not make the same mistakes again. You know, if knowledge creation is a two-way street, it's a dyadic process. We learn from the students, and hopefully the students learn something from us as well. And when we exit the building, we all say, you know what, that was worth the time. And you know, there are a lot of MBA programs where you can just sit, go through the motions, and be done. Okay, and you get the appropriate value from it. But when you're investing time, okay, and you know, all of our students are investing significant amounts of time. They could be out doing other things. They could be out creating other businesses or whatever it is, but they're there for the development of their knowledge, and that puts I feel a huge burden on my shoulders to make sure that when they leave, they say, you know what, that was worth my time.
And there's a last question I have to ask you.
Sure.
Because going back, our first class was with Professor Liasidis, and he asked us, "What's your next class?" And we didn't know then. Back then, we said with Professor Szamosi, and he said, "Watch out for the chairs." And we were like, "What?" So the question is, what? Why do you throw chairs during your class?
Why do I throw chairs? Well, first of all, there aren't too many university professors throwing chairs. Okay, so, you know, I go right back to our football example. There aren't too many Messis in the world. Okay, well, somebody's got to break the mold. Okay, so, you know, I use the chair as an example of in a discussion related to communication and ensuring that, you know, with today's communication overload and so much information flowing around, sometimes you need to be able to stand out in order to break the noise and get somebody to focus in on your message. So the use of the chair is there to break the noise, have somebody focus for a little bit, and then get back to whatever it is that we're doing. And, you know, let's be honest, in our lives, there aren't too many chairs being thrown at us, but there are other symbolic chairs that are being thrown at us to cut the noise, that make us focus somewhere, and then we get back to the reality of it.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking your. I know I am taking him from a class, but it's for a noble case. Our project is very well. So
Absolutely.
thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Good talking with you again. Thank you.